Hey guys, so made some progress. I still can't get over what I found, but was able to get this all cleaned up. Got the voice coil removed. Kind of have to be very careful with it just because of the ring that holds everything together. Ideally, you would replace all the separate pieces, right? And most of the drop-in kits or the kits that you can get will have your ring, have your spider, have your cone, and dust cap. And I'll show you here what I did to the dust cap in a second. But I kind of worked it from the bottom, carefully just removed all the metal. It was on the aluminum former, which is kind of the inside cylinder that they wrap the coil around. Again, it's non-magnetic, both aluminum and copper. So they take that and they have a slit in the middle to ensure that you don't have eddy currents. You can look that up if you'd like. I won't get into it. But was able to get everything out as much as I could. But you will notice that, I left two important things, or should I say four. These are going to be the leads, or maybe I'll just show from the other end here. Sorry about that. So got the coil completely removed, and then I went from the top because you're gonna need this for the installation, not specifically for this assembly, but for installation, you're gonna have to get access to the middle. And so what I did was take my handy blade. It's a Walmart purchase, works great. And I carefully went around the dust cap edges as close as I can to the edge and cut it. Now, some of the subwoofers I deal with, usually if you heat them up with a heat gun, they tend to come right on off. You can prime off with adhesives, very similar to what we did here on the surround. But this one was a little tough, and I can imagine just because it's paper and adhesive is going to hold much better. So I was forced to cut it, but I cut it in a way that when I do put it back, should be really minimal visible alteration to this. So I'm going to try to use two hands here, get this back in there, and I didn't completely remove it. I left a little piece attached. That's actually going to make it easier when I re-epoxy and reinstall everything. But it does give me enough room to access the inside. So when I do finally install the voice coil and try to get it lined over the yoke and put the proper gapping in there so it's not rubbing, you will certainly need this off. Now, obviously you can destroy the dust cap and buy some. They're very abundant on the market. This happens to be, I don't know, 155 millimeter diameter dust cap. So you can certainly cover it with many different options out there. You can just get different colors and customize it to whatever your interior is going to be. Or you can just rebrand it, right? So here we go. So what you're seeing now is 4 leads, and these are the leads that go directly from the voice coil to the tensile leads. So there you've got a kind of a pair, plus minus, and here's the other pair. So I wanted to make sure that those were in there, very sound. And what I'll do when I get the new voice coil, I'll drop it in there, make sure the measurements are right, I'll secure it, add adhesive, solder it on there. But you definitely need these connections because if I turn it back around, those windings are attached directly to the tensile leads. So here's your the leads that go to the outside world of the subwoofer, and get the power, right? You get whatever, anywhere from 30 to 40 to up to 50 volts at very high currents. And this eventually is tied into the voice coil here. So overall, somewhat of a successful removal, other than the surprise we had earlier. It's funny, I emailed Skar just to kind of show them pictures and notify them of this and to let them know I have videos, right? It wasn't my intent to give an impression of, hey, I installed it and look what I found inside it. But it really is a fundamental manufacturing issue. And I feel like if they were able to look at the pictures and just simply look at even the clip that was in there, I'm guessing they've got 1,000 of those clips lying around in the factory somewhere, so it shouldn't be a surprise to them. But that's very unfortunate. Again, I'm sure there's a reason behind it, but the response I received from them wasn't what I expected. made it aware that this was bought through obviously a private party for repair. And they said, hey, look, our warranty doesn't cover that unless you bought it directly from us or approved vendors. Go eat shit, basically, right? So it is what it is. I didn't expect anything else. I did ask if they had a recone kit. They do not. They don't make it for any other subwoofers as it's relevant. And really what drove me to make this video, as there aren't a lot of repairs for Skars, which is unfortunate because if I recall right, Buddy Patrick at Robot, I'm pretty sure he said they're the largest subwoofer manufacturer, car audio manufacturer in the world, right? I think Harman International is the biggest audio overall. They own JBL, Infinity, Harman Kardon, all the other major brands and so forth. So, in fact, I think that's Harman's owned by Samsung, but Samsung is kind of hands off right now and letting Harman do its thing. So I love all Harman products. My vehicle's all Infinity, Harman Kardon, JBL. So a lot of different brands out there, but there's only a few that have been around for a very long time doing it consistently. So I'm a big Harman fan, but that's a different tangent. Anyway, so here are your leads. Now this is aluminum, even though it looks very copperish. This is just a polyimide layer that they put on each of the windings, right? So it's just bare metal, and this is referred to as magnetic wire. So you can have multiple layers. I don't know if this is a 4-layer polyimide or 2-layer polyimide. I'm guessing probably because of the temperature, it gets pretty hot. So 4 to 6 layer polyimide coating on the wire. So that's why you got that copper looking color on there, but it's really aluminum. But yeah, so I got the new voice coil on order from my buddy Patrick. Shouts out to Robot Underground. We'll get that, and I will make a second video of the reinstall. So once I get it in there, pop it on, secure my dust cap, make it look all pretty, and drop it back in there. In the meantime, as I mentioned in other videos, I'll try to clean anywhere where I'm going to be putting new adhesive or epoxy, just to make sure that it does have a pretty good bond. Again, these subwoofers, most, if not all of the subwoofers, even the smaller ones, there's a lot of force. It moves quite a bit of air, and you know, you want to make sure everything's nice and tight to a degree of how the manufacturer built it. You know, a different video, I'll try to kind of show out the lessons of the different spider materials they use, as different thicknesses. This is often referred to as quote unquote the suspension for a subwoofer, right? You want to soften the suspension, or you have a hard suspension for a subwoofer that's going to handle a lot more power, because this kind of maintains its linearity. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. As it moves up and down, right? And so this is very important. So when I do install it back, again, I didn't cut any of the spider even to remove it. Most of the times I'll just cut these if I have a recone kit, but I was able to maintain its integrity here, and I'll be able to apply all new epoxy and reuse the same ring and secure it. So I won't be altering it in any way other than obviously the new voice coil, which I trust will be a pretty much same, if not better performance when it comes from those guys. So thanks for watching. We'll get you next time.